Welcome to the class of AEC, and today we will be doing transformation of sentences. Now, before going to a detailed discussion on transformation of sentences, we need to know what exactly transformation of sentences is and why do we need transformation of sentences. Now, transformation of sentences is just a changing of a sentence from one form to another. Now, we have different types of sentences in English grammar. So in our initial English grammar classes, we already have been taught that how many types of sentences are there, just like the assertive sentence, the interrogative sentence, the imperative sentence, optative sentence, and the exclamatory sentence. Now, apart from this categorization of sentences, we also have the affirmative sentences and the negative sentences. And along with this, we have certain parts of speeches which actually give variety of sentence structures and constructions. Now, to increase the elegance of the language that we are using, we use this transformation of sentences because this is an excellent exercise as well as it teaches a variety of expression. Now, at the very beginning of the class, we will just move on to certain examples and how we exactly do transformation of sentences. Now, at the very beginning, I would like to start with transformation from affirmative to negative. Now, what is an affirmative sentence and what is a negative sentence? Now, affirmative sentences are those sentences that give a positive statement or meaning, and negative sentences refer to non-occurrence of any action or an absence of quality. So we have, I'll write first, affirmative sentences and negative sentences. Now, affirmative sentences give a positive statement and a negative sentence that actually refer to non-occurrence of any action or there is an absence of quality. So in negative sentences, we generally do what? We use no and not and something like this, or which gives a negative sense. And while transforming from affirmative to negative, what we do, I'll give you one example. First is, if I give a sentence that is in affirmative, please remember me. So here you will find no negative word, no negative word like no or not has been used. Now, if I try to transform this affirmative sentence into negative sentence, what shall I do? I will use a no here. And how should I do that? Please remember me is affirmative sentence. Then the negative will be please do not forget me. So I'll write it here. Please remember me. This is in affirmative. If I want to transform it in negative, please do not. So here, forget me. So I'm using do not. That actually makes the sentence negative. So this is how we do transformation of sentences, and this is a transformation from affirmative to negative. Next, I'll show another one. As soon as please listen to me. As soon as I arrived, the noise ceased. So here I'm telling you the two actions are there in a sentence. I'm arriving and the noise ceased. So as soon as I arrived, the noise ceased. Now, if I transform this sentence into a negative sentence, how should I do this? No sooner did I arrive than the noise ceased. So here is a specific structure is there. As soon as I arrived, the noise ceased. As soon as I arrived, the noise ceased. So I'll make it into negative. How? No sooner, by using no sooner did. I use did here, so did I arrive? It won't be arrived. No sooner did I arrive than the noise ceased. So this is another example of transformation from affirmative to negative. Now, at the very beginning of this class, I've told you that there are 5 categories of sentences, and that we generally do at the very initial classes of grammar, and they are the assertive sentence, which asserts something, that gives a statement. There's an interrogative sentence which poses a question, that poses question. There are certain imperative questions. Imperative questions actually emphasizes something and it generally gives an order. There are optative sentences that actually tells you about the expression of wishes, and there are exclamatory sentences. Actually those sentences are exclamatory sentences that express a strong feeling or desire. Okay, now if I try to transform sentences from assertive to interrogative, there are certain structures and techniques that we will see here that we need to change. Now, in some special types of interrogatives, we find that when the question is assertive, a negative answer is implied. In some certain interrogatives, when the question is assertive, when there is in an interrogative sentence, the question is assertive. It is not no negative senses there, but actually the implication is negative. Okay, and vice versa. And when the question is negative, an affirmative answer is implied. Now here, when we will be transforming these kind of assertive sentences to interrogative sentences or vice versa, we will see that an interrogative sentence is often changed into an assertive sentence while bringing this sense of negative or affirmative in it. How? I'll give you an example. In an affirmative interrogative sentence, I'll give you an example from an interrogative sentence, which is an affirmative interrogative sentence. That is a affirmative sentence that poses a question, and that is, what is the use of this statue? What is the use of this statue? Now, this particular question, which is an affirmative, actually implies a negative sentence. So when I'm asking a question, actually it means that this statue is of no use. So when I'm transforming this sentence from interrogative to assertive, I will be making it also I will also transform it also from affirmative to negative. So if the question is, what is the use of this statue? The assertive sentence will be, there is no use of this statue, because the question itself implies a negative sense. What is the use of this statue? And in assertive it will be, there is no use of this statue. Again, I'll give another example. It is an interrogative. Is he not a fool? This is a question. This is a question with an assertive sense. Is he not a fool? And when I will be transforming this into an assertive sentence, it will be, he is a great fool. So in my question, is he not a fool? In the question, there is a negative, but the answer is what? The implied answer is he is a fool. But when I'm making it into a question, I'm using a negative. Is he not a fool? So when I'm transforming that negative interrogative question into an assertive affirmative question, I will be doing the same thing without changing the meaning. That means, is he not a fool? The meaning is, he is a great fool. Another example, this is very interesting. Can anyone do this? This is also an affirmative interrogative sentence, a question with an affirmative sense. Can anyone do this? The answer implied is, no one can do this. So when I will be transforming this interrogative sentence into an assertive sentence, I will say that no one can do this. I can so these are the examples how you need to transform from assertive to interrogative, as well as from affirmative to negative as well. Now I'll just quickly move on to the degrees of adjective. Now there are 3 degrees of adjective: the positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative degree. And you all know what exactly they mean, that a positive degree adjective is good, comparative is better, and the superlative is the best, or the large, larger, the largest. And if any word is having more than 1 syllable, it will be just like more and most, careful, more careful, and the most careful. Now if I am trying to change a sentence having an adjective with a positive degree into a sentence having an adjective with a comparative degree, how should I do this? Suppose this is an example: the razor is not so sharp as that. Should I write? The razor is not so sharp as that. So here the adjective is sharp and it is in positive degree. Now if I try to transform this sentence into a sentence with an adjective in a comparative degree, it will be: the razor is sharper than that. So it was in positive, this is in comparative. Again, suppose any sentence is in comparative degree, having an adjective with a comparative degree, like he is better than any other boy in the class. He is better than any other boy in the class. How should I do this? If I change this comparative degree adjective into superlative degree adjective, how should I do this? He is the best boy in the class. Before superlative, you have to use the article the. He is the best boy in the class. No other boy. He is better than any other boy in the class. This is in comparative degree. The superlative will be: he is the best boy in the class. Okay. Now, another very interesting transformation of sentences that I'll show you is by using the word to. T-O-O-2. This is an adverb. Now, how? He is so honest that he will not accept a bribe. He is so honest that he will not accept a bribe. Now I'll use the adverb to, and this transformation will also shorten the sentence. How? He is too honest to accept a bribe. So the sentence was previously big, it was a sentence with a complex clause. He is so honest that he will not accept a bribe. And if I'm shortening it with the adverb to, it will be: he is too honest to accept a bribe. Now here I just gave you certain examples on the transformation of sentences, and you will be given certain exercises later on, and if you practice that, I'm sure that you will be having an idea on the transformation of sentences. Thank you.